All right. Hey guys, Tony Bianchino from Outrun Your Fork, personal training and nutrition. Today we're going to talk about your immune system. I know we have a watcher somewhere, but we are going to talk about immune system. And sorry that Facebook is kind of blowing this out. Maybe if I get a little closer, yeah, it's a little nicer. Okay. So we're going to talk about your immune system and what it really means. See, most people, when they see your immune system, they think right away that it's about gut health and good bacteria and fiber and all that other stuff. And that's really not all that is. And it's kind of exciting and it's really, really cool. There's this dude, Dr. Linus Pauling, right? Years and years ago, I read about this guy. And it was really cool how he talked about overloading on vitamin C. Now, again, this isn't a doctor's I'm not pitching you as a doctor. I'm not telling you what you should be doing, but his reports were very, very interesting and world renowned. There's actually a place called the Linus Pauling Institute. All right. This dude is really, really smart. I think he's Swiss, perhaps, but this dude was really cool. He used to talk about overloading on vitamin C and how it would help boost your immune system, how it would give you like that burst, that oxidative, antioxidative burst when there was an oxidative event in your body, right? Which is really cool. And we'll talk about oxidation and all that. But really, if you think about the body, there's a couple of things that, help prevent things from hurting us, right? Let me see what I got here. Hey, what are you telling me? All right. Got to see that. I think that's my dad. So I love that people text me. I'll get back to my dad in a little bit. But, it's really, really interesting to learn about the immune system and see what it really is, that it's not just about good gut health. But there's a few components to your immune system, and it's really exciting to see the work that this guy did. And that's where I started before I got that little interruption there. But so he did all these studies about how vitamin C would boost your immune system. And he talked about taking 2 to 10 grams a day, way over the recommended daily allowance that the government puts out, the U.S. government. So he was talking about, and if you get an idea of what 2 grams is, that's 2,000 milligrams. I don't know off the top of my head what the U.S. Recommended daily allowance is, but it's not 2,000 milligrams. It's a lot less. And he was talking to do up to 10,000 milligrams. That's crazy, right? So he did all this work and all these studies, and we're going to get to that, but let's back up and talk about the few functions and components of your immune system. So the first barrier, right, for anything infecting our bodies, do we know what that? We know what it is, and it's so obvious that when I tell you, you're going to be just like you're going to do I should have had a V8, right? But what is the first line of defense? Can anybody tell me what that first line of defense is? Oh, wait a minute. Looking for some people to chime in. No. First line of defense is your mucous membranes, right? In your nose, your mouth, eyes, all that kind of stuff, right? That's a line of defense. It catches debris and all this other junk and it'll just rush it out, right? But there's another component that's a protective layer. Think about that. I just gave you a big tip, a layer that protects us from it's a barrier to entry, right? To viruses or anything bad, right? It's your skin. Think about that. The biggest organ in your body. The biggest organ in your body is a huge part of your immune system. Now, think what that means. Think about how important our skin is, right? Bacteria and viruses and all that stuff, typically, depending on the size of them, they can't get through the skin. The skin protects us from all kinds of stuff. It doesn't just stop our guts from falling out and our blood from coming out, but it also protects us from things invading us, right? So it's very cool. Now, with your skin, if it's that important, if it's the first line of defense among so many other things, why wouldn't you take care of it, right? People dehydrate all the time by not drinking enough water. You should be drinking a minimum of 6 to 8 8-ounce glasses a day, according to the USRDA, right? 6 to 8 8-ounce glasses a day. That's up to 64 fluid ounces. It's about a half gallon a day, right? The goal is probably a little bit more for most people, because most people weigh more than 150 pounds. Okay, so we say that drink at least half your body weight in water. I think that's a great rule of thumb. But think about it: if you're not taking care of your skin, if you're not hydrating it, if you're not cleaning it, moisturizing it, whatever it is, your skin isn't as healthy, and it's not being that big barrier to entry of all of these viruses, bacteria, and other things that could proliferate. Right now, it's not the only level, because things are going to get in. We're going to breathe them in, right? We're going to have them pass through. We're going to eat things that contains bacteria, okay? And there's other processes that happen in our body. So it's not only the things are going to get in, but also our body has a process of oxidation. So there's something. So you got your skin, your mucous membranes, right, that help. Your stomach acid. So when you eat something, your stomach acids kill a lot of really nasty stuff. So if it does get in through one of the holes, right, your stomach acid will kill it. And you got digestive enzymes in there too. It's very, very, very volatile, violent environment in your gut, right? And then, of course, you have your beneficial bacteria that's in the colon, right? That also fights off infections and stuff, right? Fights off bad bacteria. Now, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Think about your gut, right? And what keeps it healthy, right? A lot of fiber keeps it healthy. Probiotics keep it healthy. Prebiotics like fiber, like greens, like chlorella, right? All these things keep that healthy. So again, if that's a line of defense to keep you alive and keep you healthy, why wouldn't you want to take care of it? Why wouldn't you take care of your skin? Just drink more water. It also actually helps curb appetite and helps you burn more body fat and gain lean muscle tissue, drinking water, right? So why wouldn't you do that? All right. And then you have, like I said, take care of your stomach, by eating good, less processed foods. And that includes your gut bacteria. So then you have innate immunity. That's all the white blood cells that you have in your body that have been passed down from generation to generation through the, hundreds of thousands of years that people and human beings have been on this planet. You have those things in you. We know how to fight off a lot of things, right? We know how to fight off oxidation. We know how to fight off general things that have hurt us throughout the years. And then you have something called acquired immunity. All right, this one's really cool. Acquired immunity are your T cells, your white blood cells, right? T cells and B cells. Nobody ever talks about B cells, but these are the white blood cells that learn. This is how your body learns, and it sends out these white blood cells to kill things that it's learned from. So if you get a flu, you should not ever get that strain of flu again, unless your immune system is so suppressed that it can't fight it. But for the most part, with a healthy immune system, you'll never get that flu again. You'll never get that cold again, because your body knows now how to beat it, unless it gets overwhelmed because you don't have a healthy immune system. Right? So even a flu you've gotten before could really compromise you and get you sick, even though your body knows what it is, right? And it has the T cells and B cells against it. The problem is it might get overwhelmed and not be able to produce enough of a response. Sometimes we get sick and our body develops a pathology that our bodies produce too many of these cells, and it becomes damaging because they go after more than just the virus. So our goal here is to keep ourselves as healthy as possible. We always talk about living a healthy, vibrant life, right? And what does that start with? Well, it starts with your nutrition and your food. I mean, it's your exercise and your sleep. These are the biggest things you could do. Hydrate, get the amount of nutrients that you need, sleep good, right? Make sure that you're exercising. These are all things you could do to boost your immune system. Take care of your skin, man. Wash it, lotion it, drink your water, okay? So now let's talk about some of these processes that happen in the body. So you have we went through the skin. We talked about the skin and the stomach acid and all that. We're going to move on to that innate and the learned, right? The acquired immunity with the white blood cells. So now that you have, we're going to move in. We look at this. What happens? Well, when something invades us, right? Something gets in the body, there's an oxidative response. What's up, Mark? We're talking about building your immune system, Mark. And you got to go check out the beginning of this video, because it's really, really interesting. And I know that people know about immune system and think it's gut health and, all this other stuff, but that is just a small part of it. It's not just white blood cells and T cells and B. There's a lot more that's a first barrier to entry, right, that we got to take care of, and your skin's one of them. So we're talking about hydration and all. So what are some of the things that we need? There's that big burst, that oxidative or antioxidant rush to go get it. It's like, when somebody intercepts the ball in football, or the opposing team intercepts a pass in soccer, which is, football everywhere else in the world, right? What happens? Everybody rushes over there to kill the guy. Well, because they're pissed. And that's exactly the response that you have in your body with the white blood cells, right? All of these things come together and boom, they try to attack this thing. And there's some fallout from that. The fallout is it's almost like if you had a flame, right? And it burns things, and then there's a little bit of charring going around, like when you have a flame or a candle in a glass jar. Some of the jar gets singed, gets burned. That's from that oxidative process, right? So sometimes your body overreacts to things, and that could cause sickness and pathology. So you want to fine tune this stuff as much as you can, so you could stay healthy, so your body doesn't overreact, right? And also that it has enough of the immune system, enough of the white blood cells and everything in order to attack it and get rid of it, right? So this way you could survive. Body's an amazing, amazing organism. It has so many checks and balances, but we just need to do our part to help it stay healthy, so this way it could do what it does so well. Because you know what? This brain is in this body. This whole body it has one purpose. It's to keep this going, right? It's to keep you going. So help it out. So what are some of the things that we could do to keep a healthy immune system? We talked about the skin. Let's talk about those white blood cells. Let's talk about the inside of our body. Let's talk about antioxidants and oxidation, because we know what oxidation is. Oxidation happens when you have oxidants come into the body, or this chemical reactions that produce oxidative properties, right? So when we look at metal, look at a car. We all saw, old school cars that were steel and metal, and they would start to like pit and rust, right? That's oxidation. It starts to eat it up, and it kind of starts to disappear, and it rusts and it goes just out. God, it's transference, right? So in your body, it works kind of similar, but instead of calling it rust, do you guys know what it's called? The oxidative process in the body, when things oxidize to a point of pathology, what's it called? Nobody? Think about it. What is the oxidative process in the body called if left unchecked and it becomes a pathology? It's called cancer, right? And you and I both don't want that, right? So let's give our bodies the best shot. How do we do that? By eating well, by exercising, by sleeping, doing all the things we can for our body to keep it healthy so that it could just do what it does. Again, it's an amazing organism. So some of the nutrients that help us, right? You got to teach your body, give it the opportunity to learn how to deal with other viruses and other colds and all these different things, right? Bacteria. But some of the things that are really, really important are vitamins and minerals. So the typical American diet, we have what? Fast food. We're eating all this processed food. We're eating breads. We're eating, rice that's been ground up and processed so much. There's no fiber in it. There's no nutrients in it, like bread, white bread, and all kinds of breads is fortified with vitamins and minerals. These are chemicals that they're putting in. Your body doesn't know what to do with that stuff. So your best bet is to ditch the processed foods. That includes sugar. Sugar is the bane of our existence, right? And high fructose corn syrup's worse. We'll talk about that another time. But eat whole foods, because it has micronutrients, it has macronutrients, it has things in it, and in the right balance. Our body's designed to eat what's in nature. It really is. So the closer you could stay to it, the better you're going to be. So the balance of vitamins and minerals in most natural foods are exactly designed the way we need them, or we are designed to use the way they've been designed, right? So look at it that way. That's why apples, apple a day keeps the doctor away. Oranges are supposed to be really, really good for you because they're high in vitamin C, right? We all know that vitamin C is supposed to be good for fighting off a cold, right? Tea, honey, all these things. But why? What are the components of it? What are the vitamins and minerals? So we'll talk about that real quick. So something called EPA and DHA, right? These are fatty acids, right? That live that you could really only get from certain fats. Like the best way to get them is from fish, oily, greasy fish, right? Salmon is something we're all familiar with, and most of us eat salmon, right? So you got salmon, you got canned salmon, you got all kinds of stuff. But then herring and sardines are two other examples. Some people love sardines. They have a bit of a nutty taste to them. You can actually, old school Italians used to take them and drop them at the bottom of the pan or the pot, and kind of cook it with the garlic, so it would melt in there, and it would enhance the flavor of the sauce or the gravy, whichever you call it, right? The red pasta sauce. So, not a whole lot of sardines, but yeah. So that's a great form of EPA and DHA. All right. That's about the only places you could get it. There's a little bit of it in nuts, but nuts are much higher in magnesium and a few other things, and we'll get there. So vitamin A. Vitamin A. All right. How much vitamin A does the USDA recommend? 900 a day. That's it. Women, 700 a day. All right. What's a great source of vitamin A? Egg yolks. Now, egg yolks have a lot of fat, but let me tell you, all the nutrition outside of the protein, all the nutrition is in the yolk. So when I used to compete in bodybuilding, we used to eat 10 egg whites and 2 whole eggs. 2 whole eggs. Why? A little bit of fat isn't bad for you. You just got to balance it out with everything else. So egg fat, it really isn't proven that it increases cholesterol. So that's a conversation for your doctor another time. But egg yolks, carrots, sweet potatoes, those are great sources of vitamin A. Again, if you notice, there's no processed food here. It's all whole food. All right. Vitamin C. Okay, let's get to vitamin C. Here, you think it's only oranges or citrus, and that's not true. You got vitamin C in sweet red peppers, kiwis. A lot of produce has a good amount of vitamin C, right? Strawberries are high in vitamin C, among other things. So when you're eating the rainbow, you're getting all the things that you need in order to stay healthy, fight off infection, and build a really, really heck of a kick-ass immune system. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is something, there's 2 different types of vitamins, right? Water soluble and fat soluble. What does that mean? So water soluble, you could take a good amount of it, and if you overdose on it by a little, your body will just eliminate it, pees it out. Fat soluble vitamins don't necessarily get out and excreted that easy, so you got to be careful with them, right? Be careful with your supplements, guys. Just because vitamin C is good for you doesn't mean you should go out and have a lot of it. I can't recommend that. Linus Pauling's brilliant scientist, and he talks about, like I said, 2 to 10 grams, but that's not a recommendation that I can make. I personally will take more. But vitamin A, you got to be careful with that. Vitamin D, you got to be careful with it. Most Americans are deficient in vitamin D, especially in North America. We just don't get a lot of sunlight. Go out for a walk, half hour or more each day, and you're getting a huge amount of vitamin D. Vitamin D also helps boost your mood. So if your mood is good, you sleep better at night, right? Plus, it's boosting your immune system. Vitamin D is also pink salmon. So now salmon, you get a double whammy. You got your EPA and your DHA, and you're also getting your vitamin D. Sardines again, okay, fortified milk, sunshine. All right, these are great forms of vitamin D. So vitamin E, we need vitamin E. It's another fat-soluble vitamin. Be careful with it. All right, adults, 15 milligrams a day, he says, okay? Almonds, sunflower oil, avocado, foods that we all eat and that are very, very popular. These are ways to get your vitamin E. All right, folate. Folate is like lentils, spinach. Okay, they're also very high in iron. They kind of go together. Enriched bread, I don't really, whatever. You know how I feel about bread and processed foods. All right, vitamin B12. People go to the doctor and get B12 shots when they're tired, right? But vitamin B12 is big in clams and mackerel. Vitamin B6 is in salmon. Again, salmon, turkey, potatoes with the skin. It's in the skin. All right. Then you have zinc, iron, copper, selenium. These are all immune building and boosting vitamins and minerals. Zinc, iron, copper, and selenium are the minerals. Now, this is all good stuff. Vitamin D also helps bone health, right? So minerals live in the bones for the most part, and your bones are active organs. They release minerals. They release white blood cells. They release a lot. They are the storage house and the manufacturers of a lot. So if we have a surplus of minerals, a lot of times your bones will store them and then release them as needed. Right? But if you overdose it, it's going to make the bone sick. So zinc is in, again, oysters and beef. Iron is in beef, tuna, and lentils. And I'm reading a list here. Copper. All right. It's not the stuff that you wear, right? Not those little bracelets. Oysters, cashew nuts, lentils. So are you seeing some commonalities here? Like lentils are great for you. They also provide a lot of fiber, which creates prebiotic for your gut, and it also flushes out. Fiber helps flush out all the gunk that's sitting around in your intestines, so you don't have too many bad bacteria proliferating in there. All right. So now, Linus Pauling, like I said, talked a lot about vitamin C. He also talks about vitamin D. You could read more about him at the Linus Pauling Institute. But guys, these are really simple ways. Eat all the colors of the rainbow. Make sure that you're eating your fiber. Make sure that you're eating your fruits, your vegetables. Get a balance of everything, and you will have a stronger immune system. Don't forget, folks, your skin, first line of defense. Mucous membranes, first line of defense. What else? What else? Not gut health. It is, but also stomach acids and enzymes. It's a barrier to entry for foreign invaders, right? And then we have our white blood cells, right? Our white blood cells are we're talking about innate white blood cells. We know how to deal with things. We're born with it. And then you have your T cells and your B cells that are your acquired immune system. You got to keep these things healthy, folks. These are some really good tips for you on how to boost your immune system, all right? How to keep your skin healthy, because it's a big protector. Folks, any questions, just post them down there. We'll get back to you with the answers to those questions. But I hope this sheds a little bit of light and helps you want to take care of your skin a little bit better, because I cleanse, I tone, and then I moisturize every morning. And my skin's never looked so good, right? It looks pretty good, but also it feels really good. And I know I'm taking care of myself, guys. So start taking care of yourself. Every time you cleanse yourself correctly, or you eat yourself, you nourish your body. Think of that word, nourish. You're nourishing your body with healthy food. You're nourishing your body and loving yourself by getting a good night's rest. And if things are preventing you from getting good sleep, like stress, you need to have different mechanisms. And we'll cover those too. We have covered them in the past about dealing with stress. Right? It's not about just holding on and trying to forget things. You got to have mechanisms for eating good, for exercising. You got to have mechanisms for dealing with stress. You have to. Otherwise, you're not going to be healthy, and all this bad stuff's going to happen. And besides, if you're not healthy and you're tired and you're feeling like crap and you're cranky, how good of a use are you to your boss, your family, your friends, your coworkers, or really anybody else on the planet? What's the point? Right? So let's bone you up. Let's get you healthy. Let's eat the rainbow. Now we kind of understand why. So at least pragmatically, when you're looking at fruit or ice cream, you start to say, you know what? That ice cream is not going to help me stay healthy. It's not going to help me fight off whatever's going on right now. It's not going to help me, because obviously it's not going to help you lose weight. It's not going to help. It's going to make you gain weight, right? But it's going to kill all the good bacteria in your gut anyway. So keep yourself healthier, right? Go for all these building tips. We do have recipes, really good recipes. We got a lot of other great data, great little quick hits and workouts and nutrition tips all the time. So stick with us, subscribe with us. So this way you can get all this wonderful, wonderful information that we offer to you at no cost. Of course, it's an added benefit to our members, but our members get exclusive content like this streaming content that we don't put out anywhere else. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Join me next time. Sunday through Thursday, we go live. So tonight's our last live event until Sunday night again. Just know, guys, that we will be having, I forget what they're putting together, but Melissa's putting something together for a happy hour. Right. And this is something that I know you guys will love. Everybody wants to have some wine. So, if it helps you de-stress and it's not over the top, it's called balance in your life, and we all need balance. But we're going to have some really good conversations, some really good fun, and put that together for you. So, guys, listen, it's been a pleasure sharing with you, like I always say, and I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. So we'll end this live video now and let you guys get back to what you were doing. We're going to end the stream. Great. Thanks for joining us.